thank you all for either online or coming in person. We appreciate everyone who's there in person today. Um, this is AI Agents and Reasoning, and it's sponsored by AWS. I'm Bruce Lawler. I'm the Managing Director of MIT MIMO, which is Machine Intelligence for Manufacturing and Operations. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. First of all, I would like to give a big shout out to AWS. This is our 7th annual AI workshop, and AWS has been a consistent sponsor. We've had NVIDIA, PyTorch, TensorFlow all come from time to time and teach, but it's always been AWS Compute underneath. And today we're fortunate enough to have both AWS Compute and the lab and the lecture are provided by AWS as well. And I'd like to thank Mahendra, who's there. He's one of the people who will help you today if you get stuck. He has been at every AWS presented workshop since the beginning. And to give context, our first workshop was we trained something called AWS Deep Lens to recognize MNIST data sets. So if you think of, and that was 7 years ago, think of how far the industry has come. You wouldn't even think of doing that today. And I'd also like to thank Arnie. He takes his role as an educator as well as a leader in industrial application very seriously. That's why he's taken time today on Saturday, as well as the rest of the AWS team. They've all flown in from around the country and taken a Saturday away from their families to be with all of you guys. So they're very, very committed to education, and they see the power of these tools, and they want you to have them in your hands. So thank you, AWS team, for your time, and of course, always Compute and of course, the lecture today. So MIT Machine Intelligence for Manufacturing and Operations. We've got two LGOs here today, Mark and Junru, as well as Professor Bonning. And we'll hear from him and then also Fayez before we hand it over to Arnie. So just real quickly, MIMO is very application oriented, so we're really trying to find that shortest path from data to impact. And that's exactly what Arnie and his team do. So is how do we help, in their case, customers, or in our case, industry, really get the most out of the information that they have, and both structured and unstructured data. And MIMO, very briefly, there's three main pillars: research, education, and collaboration. And it's all in the service of furthering this machine intelligence transformation. So today is obviously an education and collaboration piece. So at the breaks, please talk among yourselves, obviously, and your AWS team, and hopefully you'll learn quite a bit during this. A couple of advertisements here. On May 6th, we have MIMO hosts its annual symposium, AI Accelerate Impact. It'll be over at Wong. And we do this in partnership with CSAIL every year. And the reason is we want to bring the newest approaches from CSAIL and then also show how they're impacting industry today. It is free for students, so we would love to have you attend. Please mark down May the 6th in your calendars, and we'd love to see you there. There will be a sign up going out soon. And it just kind of to set the context, it's mostly industrial speakers presenting AI use cases, and we've got some really powerful generative AI applications coming from Toyota, Nissan, Boeing, as well as Bristol Myers Squibb, J&J. So we've really got some great speakers to show you what they're doing with Gen AI today. So we look forward to seeing you. As part of that, in the evening after the symposium, we will have a poster competition. And so you're all welcome to enter your research your research into the competition. Most importantly, we'll be giving away $10,000 in prizes. That's cash into your pocket to do whatever you want to do with it. And we're very fortunate that PTC has agreed to sponsor that this year. You can see the URL. You can always find a link to it through the MIMO website and the symposium. But we hope to have many of you join us and compete, because it gives you an opportunity to show off what you've done to about 100 industry professionals and your fellow students that will be there. So about 200 people in total at the symposium, and you'll get to mix and mingle and of course win some money and recognition. Just real quickly, some of the research that MIMO does is in partnership with McKinsey. And we just recently published the article on the right in Harvard Business Review. The one on the left was published a couple of years ago. Why does this matter? On the right, the most recent article is about what companies succeeding with AI do differently. And as you're going out to interview, I highly recommend you read this article. There's 4 major points, and ask the companies these 4 major points and see how they're performing, because regardless of the group that you're interviewing with, you want it to be successful across the corporation. And these are the trends that will help you. And I'll give you the TLDR version. If the CEO is actively driving an AI agenda, it's kind of obvious, but those are the best places to go. And the reason is the ROI for these projects is still very uncertain, and they'll get caught up in the lower levels of the organization if the ROI is uncertain. Whereas companies where the CEO is driving it, you're going to have the best and broadest success. So pro tip for you as you go out to interview. Lastly, MIMO is sponsored by the MIT Leaders for Global Operations. It's a 24-month dual degree program. We've got 24 partners and a 6-month on-site research component. Tell your friends to apply. There's 50 students a year roughly that go through the program, and we're always looking for the best and brightest. So get the word out to your friends who may be looking for a new graduate opportunity. And we'd love to have you join the conversation. So you can reach me at the email there, hit that QR code and enter your information in the contact screen. And, if any of your companies where you've been are involved in AI, we have our study. It's currently active towards smart production. That's what allows us to publish the articles that you saw. And I don't know if Anielle, you are there for you MBANs. Anielle is helping us with the McKinsey study, and she's doing a great job. So look forward to you guys staying in touch with MIMO. So thank you all very much, and I'll turn it over to Professor Bonning to say a few words, and then he can introduce Fayez.
All right. Try to get over here for our online participants. Again, I'm Dwayne Bonning, a faculty member here at MIT in electrical engineering and computer science. And for the last several years, we've been trying to ramp up a community around machine intelligence and manufacturing and operations. So we're really delighted in its growth over the years, and the programs, research activities, educational things that Bruce has highlighted. That's all under the banner of the Leaders for Global Operations program. I just wanted to also echo Bruce's plug for that. If you're an undergrad here at MIT, you need to look up and find out about Leaders for Global Operations. Once you've been working for 3, 4, 5 years, you might want to be a leader in manufacturing and operations. It's going to be very AI intensive no matter what industry you're in. But this is a great opportunity to come back and do this two-year integrated degree program. We've got a couple of LGO folks here, maybe some LGO students in the audience, Mark and others, and you can chat with them, find out more about it. And if you're not interested, you still need to know about it to tell your colleagues and students and other friends about it. And if you're a grad student, when you go out and work, and you start to see, here's a great person who has what it takes to be at MIT, but they also want to be a leader in manufacturing operations, point them to the LGO program. Very, very rewarding program. A great way for MIT to fulfill its mission to change and have impact in the world, not just through research, but also going out there and really knowing how to be a leader in industry. So with that, I think I will move to introducing Faiz Ahmed. He's a faculty member in mechanical engineering, and I've had the great pleasure in the last year or two to get to know him and start to collaborate with him on some Gen AI and related research. So he's going to tell you a little bit about what he's doing.